Well, we're in here getting ready to work on this headliner mod for the volt gauge. And so in here, as you can see, in here you can see that there's a raised section right here. The rest of this is flat. I cut to trim out this piece a little bit, but this section's raised, so I'm having to cut a piece. I'm going to glue a piece in here that's going to make up the difference on that raised section and make it level. And then we're going to put another piece on the back of that to finish the wall up. We've got more work to do, but I'm just showing you what I'm doing to get things level to start with. And there is a little bit of a bump right there, extra, so I'm going to grab the old steak knife here, which is my go-to for all this kind of weird stuff whenever I'm in the house. My wife doesn't like it, but you know, we have to deal with those things. This old knife I've been using for years to do stuff like this. It just does the job. We want to get that as smooth as we can so that our piece we put on top of this glues down nice and flat. I think that's going to work. So I'm going to use Type Bond 3. That's what I've been using for everything. I use it for plastics. You just have to know your limits with it. You can't go crazy. Well, you have to build smartly. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not going to cover up for bad planning, but it will hold plastic together pretty damn good. I have yet to have something come loose that I glued with this stuff. So yeah, that's how that pretty much goes. And I don't want to put a ton in here because it takes a long time to dry, but I do want good adhesion. This will hold the whole thing together. One thing I like about this Type Bond 3 is you can smear it on with your finger and you're not worried about getting it off because it washes off water. It's good stuff. So this will give me the foundation to build the rest of it onto. Just want to get that thickness as close as I can get it to this part, so when I glue the next piece in on top of this, it'll all be a more or less level plan surface. That's the idea. Now we gotta do a little bit of gluing, and we gotta do a little bit of weighting. So I know y'all started when y'all saw this when I started, and it's not quite done yet. I still got to put the gauges in. I got to drill these holes the rest of the way out and then put the gauges in, but this is how everything's looking right now. And the way it's going to be viewed in the car, it's going to be mounted in the headrest, mounted in the headliner, in the roof. So you're basically going to be kind of like seeing this. This is the view you get. It's for all three of the gauges. And I'll show you what's going to go in here in a second. So the main thing is this sparked voltmeter, which gives you 2 voltmeters. It's going to go in like so. This was all done because he had this voltmeter and needed to put it somewhere. So we had to come up with a way, and it's going to fit in there. From Sparked Innovations. Also, I got a kit for him to get that bracket and these other pieces. So this little dude right here is kind of cool. It has a voltmeter and behind here that you can't see, but it's also got 2 plugs right here to charge, 2 USB plugs, and it's got its own little power switch turning on and off. And the other part is the switch. So the switch will be blue when it's turned on. It'll light up, and that's going to go in that 3rd hole. So it'll all light up with a switch. You can see the switch has a ground. That copper one's the ground, and 2 positives. And the reason for that is the copper one is it needs a ground for this light to turn on, but these other 2 are just a positive in and a positive out. And then this is not going in there, but it's, oh wait, this is. So it's only got the positive and the negative. The negative, of course, is the copper. As you can see, it's indicated there. And then this one has 3 also, but that's because it's got a negative, a common ground for both positives, and each of these 2 positives are for a different meter. So this will all hook up and work perfectly, and I even got the wires in here and everything. So this is the next step that's going to happen to put this all together. But yeah, I think it's going to look pretty dang good, man. That's going to be your inside view. I mean, I think it turned out okay, you know. This is what I do. I do crazy stuff like this. And this little panel right here I made just to fit this space. So whenever I did it, it doesn't quite line up there a couple places. It's not perfect, but I wanted to get the gauges down. I wanted to get the gauges this direction as much as possible to make the line of sight easier. So I had to extend this piece up here to get that little bit of extra push this direction, and I got them down. You can see they're pretty much down below what used to be the bottom. I've actually kind of extended it, gave myself another maybe 1/8 of an inch or so, every little bit I could. So I don't know, y'all tell me, turned out okay? All right, we got our circles cut out to fit, and I had to do some carving on this one to make the switch work. I'll show you what I'm talking about. So while most of these pieces are pretty long, including the sparked one and this one, the switch doesn't have to be, so it's not, and pretty limited. It's gonna be a pretty thin shell to go through there. Work it in there and we're good. On this one, anyway. Got more to do after this one. Alright, we got them all 3 in there. And that looks cool. So these are the connections to the back. We're still need to make those, but yeah, cool, right? I love it. Get it done. All right, so this is all set up to be wired off of 1 power and 1 ground coming in. So the first thing we have to do is go to our switch. with the power in, because we know that's where it starts at. Now on the switch, or on all of these, the copper color is always ground and the silver ones are always the positives. So in this case, we'll just need to connect to a positive with that, and then we'll have the other positive come off of that. And we also need a ground to connect here, because this is where our light gets its power. On the switch, has to have a ground for that light to work. So we'll go down here and connect it underneath to that connector. Ensure we got good connections. And this is our positive and negative to the whole board, with one exception. So over here we have a DC charger. It's important that we have that plugged in. In here we have our voltage, so we're going to need grounds for both of those. Again, staying on the copper with the ground run. Make sure the blade goes into the connector, not between the connector and the insulator. Slip that one on. Make sure that it's a good tight fit and it doesn't wiggle. If it does wiggle, we'll need to go back and tweak everything a little bit to make it stronger. I'm also handling the wire management here while I'm going along. So we'll get that down there. Then, so we sent power to the switch. Now we have to send power away from the switch to the other items. So we just pick one end of this and slip it right on there. Then we flip this up, hit the next one. So flip that bad boy up there and hit the next one there. And then we have power on the whole board. It's really simple. So all we need now is connect these two to a positive and a ground. Now there is one thing left unconnected, and that's that tab in between those there. This is going to be a power wire coming from the battery in the trunk up to here, which will be added later, which will make the second voltmeter light up. So for now, it's just going to be one of the voltmeters, the main power. Later on, there'll be just a power wire, because we already have a ground. Just a power wire run to here, and then everything will work. But yeah, let's put some power on it here in a minute. See what it looks like. All right, guys, here's the view. Basically what you see in the car. Just like that. Of course, it's 19.3 volts because I'm on a 20 volt dual battery, but yeah.